Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Right now I'm doing a little maintenance on my dad's truck, changing oil for him, and gonna do my truck next. Once we get that done, we're gonna talk about a oil pressure sensor on an 07 Silverado. But for right now, changing oil on this 2008 Silverado. Already got the oil filter changed, just adding some oil stabilizer, putting oil in it, and like I said, get my truck done next. Then we'll go home and talk about the oil pressure sensor. But right now, just doing a quick couple oil changes. All right, so we're back home here. Real quick, I'm going to talk and explain here about this oil pressure sensor on this 07 Silverado. Real quick here. So back in here, where it's kind of dark, see, is the oil pressure sensor. You have to take this cover off, your air intake off, all this tubing's got to come off here to get back in here. And this little section here runs back in. Isn't why you have to take this off. It just gets in your way. And basically, you better be prepared to pretty much climb up here and almost lay on top of the motor to get back in there to that switch, or not switch, oil pressure sensor. Grab a light here real quick. Back in there, if you can see where those hoses are, where the coil is, back behind that coil, there's a plastic shield back behind that, and it sits back there on top of the motor. Just before it drops back to where the transmission is kind of where it's at. Like I said, you got to take this cover off here, the tubing and everything, or intake, whatever you want to call it. I believe it's a 27 millimeter socket that gets it off, but first you have to unplug it. Do that, put the socket on. I had to get a 2-inch extension and a swivel to put on there. You can get those at Harbor Freight pretty cheap. It's like an adapter, or you can buy the whole set of swiveling sockets, but that's really not possible in this application because you need a long socket, a long neck socket to do this job. So back in there where you can't see, sorry about the lighting, back in there is where it's at. Kind of follow that vacuum line for the brakes, it's right below it, where it curves to the left. So a 27 millimeter socket, you can actually buy the whole package on Amazon. The socket, the pressure sensor, all that stuff, and there's actually a little screen. When you pull the sensor out, you have to get a pick and go down there with a pick and pull that screen out. The other one just shove right down in there. Screw the sensor back on, plug it back in. That's literally all there is to it. It's just hard to get to. But that's it. Those screens can get clogged and the sensors go bad. And what happened with this truck is the sensor was bad, and it started leaking oil through the sensor where it plugs in, or right around the base where it tightens down in. But we got that fixed. It no longer leaks oil. So yeah, it's, that's all it is to it. There's other videos where they try to show this, but it's very hard to actually get a camera down in there and see what's going on. But that's pretty much all there is to it. So you can see it when you climb up them there, but like I say, you better expect to be laying on your belly on top of the engine if you want to take a peek at it real quick to actually get the socket on it and get the clip off of it, or the wires off of it, to unclip it. To get the socket on. So don't forget to do that. First step is unplug it. So that's about it. And then just put your air intake tubing and everything back on. Try not to break anything when you're up here, leaning on stuff. But that's about it. That's about the best advice I can give. Be prepared to lay on the motor and get a 2-inch extension with a swivel adapter, and just go ahead and buy the 27mm socket with the oil pressure sensor on Amazon. It just saves you time and money. It's cheaper on Amazon anyway, so, and it works good. So the oil pressure sensor worked for a while. Didn't leak. Drove it around town, no problems, no leaks. Drove it to work and back, and it started leaking again. Under high acceleration up a couple hills. So I took the code reader, put it back on. Excuse me, read the codes, and it come back high voltage for the oil pressure sensor or high pressure. So I did some research on that. I've seen that code before on this, but I did some research, and there's an oil pressure relief valve, 2 different ones in this motor. You can either take that stuff apart, which I haven't got into yet to learn how to do it, because I still, obviously, you learn new stuff every day. But one's in the oil pan, and when I first got this truck, I changed oil, it had some sludge, so it doesn't surprise me. But what I'm going to do, not today, but shortly, is I think I'm going to dump some Marvel mystery oil in this thing and see if I can clean that out a little bit and get that high pressure down. But what I did when I had the scanner on it was I cleared the codes. I'm going to see if that code comes back and the check engine light comes back on. But it is leaking oil again from about the same spot. And I think it's from that oil pressure sensor. So hopefully it didn't ruin the sensor. It's still working on the dash up here. So I don't think it's ruined. Unless there's a seal broken in there. And it's pushing up through where the connector is connected to it. So I don't know yet. We'll keep driving it and find out what's going on. But I think the first step, instead of starting yanking stuff apart and going to town on it, I'm going to run some Marvel mystery oil in it. And then maybe look at maybe getting some motor per offline somewhere and try that, because there's no store around here that has it. And give that a shot. But that's pretty much the update on this truck. Yeah, got some other things wrong with that engine. I think it's just was so sludged up. Whoever had it before I don't think ever changed the oil. Plus, I think this is an old oil field truck too. So I came from West Virginia. So, but that's the story with this thing. Quick update on it, and I'm actually going to get off here right now and go work on a master cylinder ABS combination on that Pontiac Sunfire, because with everything going on in the world, gas prices are going up and up and up and up, and I can't afford to drive a truck to work every day, about a half hour to and a half hour back from work. So yeah, all right, thanks for watching. God bless you. See you down the road.